The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA. Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Walmart. New beauty is in bloom at Walmart, and it's all about springtime radiance. From Drybar, Tula Skincare, and hundreds more available online, Walmart has the premium brands you want and this season's on-trend products for flawless, glossy hair and hydrated skin. Big name beauty brands? Check. The things you love? Check. Find trending spring beauty and all you need to look and feel gorgeous at Walmart, on app and online.
Welcome back to the Skating Penguin Network, everyone. It is Robbie back here again on at least in Western Pennsylvania, a chilly and kind of damp Monday afternoon, April the 7th. Joined by Snail once again. We have 2 games to discuss from the weekend here as the Penguins enter this final stretch of the season. But before we get into talking hockey, as always, we will throw it over to Snail real quick to see how everything is going out in Seattle.
It's like pretty warm out, but it's rainy. A classic Northwest spring day. Lots of the mosquitoes are back out. The frogs are chirping. But yeah, kind of a rainy Monday, kind of a lazy Monday, honestly, out here. Worked a little bit, but other than that, I made myself Robbie, do you like ramen? Do you ever eat like packaged ramen?
I do like ramen.
I just made myself a dynamite bowl of ramen, and I like to spice it up a little bit. I kind of add my own little things to it. Like I'll throw in a little tofu and broccoli and maybe some cilantro and whatever. But I just had a sodium bomb and LaCroix, so I'm nice and cozy and ready to just soil myself the rest of the evening and record this podcast.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I do love a ramen. I especially like specialty ramen that you can get from like restaurants and stuff. I do like a good authentic ramen. But yeah, I mean, through college ate a lot of ramen and still enjoy ramen. Only chicken flavored though. It's the only.
It didn't ruin it for you eating it all through college.
I mean, I didn't eat it like every day, but no, it didn't really.
That's like classic, like broke college kid, right?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yeah, no, it didn't ruin it for me. I know some people, they eat it so much that they just don't like it as they get adults, and I try to cut down on the sodium as much as possible, so I only use like half of the powder packet. Yeah, because it's like
1,000 milligrams.
Yeah,
there.
it's enough to your body's your filter system, your kidneys are definitely working when you're putting that much sodium into your body. But I like just making the noodles too, and some soy sauce, and change it up a little bit. But no, I don't hate ramen. I actually enjoy ramen.
Don't know what the ramen's like out there. I feel like because we're in Seattle and there's I don't know what it is about Seattle, but I feel like we have like this really strong like Asian influence, like Japanese kind of culture. And it's not just because of Ichiro. It's like since way before then. Like we have these like they're called Uwajimaya. It's like these like Asian like import grocery stores. Okay. And we can get I can get like really dank, like good ramen. I mean, yeah, it's packaged, you just like stovetop ramen, but it's like, it's not just like Murachan or whatever it's called, like the classic, like, we're a little bit more spoiled, I think, out here.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm not totally sure on that.
Oh no, I mean you definitely have more of an Asian influence on the Pacific. That's for certain. I know that than we do. We have a decent Asian food around here. You know, you have your like more authentic Asian food. Then you have your Chinese buffets, and we do have really good sushi though.
That's shocking to me.
No, well, we're not that far from the Chesapeake, so
What is that?
it's down Baltimore area.
Oh, because I guess Baltimore has like a bay, right? Like they have a
Yeah,
port.
like they're like again, they're right on the coast too. So they're very Baltimore's very much known for its crab, and it's
Yeah,
about 3 hours.
the blue crabs,
Yep.
right? Or like the
Yeah.
soft shelled ones.
Yeah, blue crab, soft shells, anything you can kind of get out of the Atlantic. And we have a sushi place locally that they go like once a week. They drive down to Baltimore and pick up fresh. So
Oh,
it's all like we get fresh stuff here because now it does cost a little more having to travel for it, but I'd
sure.
rather pay a little more than have to worry about God knows what coming in my packaged seafood. So
Oh, exactly. Like gas
yeah,
station sushi that
yeah,
like that you're
nah.
just rolling the dice with
Yeah,
that
you're just basically
stuff.
just you're basically playing like Russian roulette, and you hope you bet red, and you hope it lands red,
Oh
because
yeah,
it's
because it's
yeah,
disastrous if not.
yeah. There's no like kind of good food poisoning from seafood. I feel like
No, I feel like it's very bad, ranging from just like it starts at very bad to like lethal.
yeah, yeah,
Like you can get like Hep C.
bad is your best case scenario.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very bad is your best
yeah,
case scenario. Dude, before we get off this, I have
yeah.
to ask, there's this thing I've heard about and I've seen it in like movies before, and it's just so wild to me. I've heard of like soft shell crab po' boys where they just fry the crab like whole. Like they don't
Mhm.
even you don't have to crack a shell and fish the meat out. You just it's like a fish. You just dunk it in the fryer and then you shove it in a po' boy. Have you ever heard of that or had one?
I've had so the point of soft shell crabs is literally that you don't have to shell them.
Right.
That is the point. Now I'm sure that they have the po' boy. I don't think I've ever had a. I've definitely never had. I've had shrimp po' boys.
Mm.
Um, I've never had soft shell crab po' boys, but yeah, the entire point of a soft shell crab is easy eating. So it would not surprise me if they fried them up and put them on a po' boy type bun. That would not surprise me whatsoever. Just douse it in like butter and Old Bay and be done with it.
Yeah, maybe that's more of a maybe you guys are too far north. I think maybe it's
Probably.
more of a like a Louisiana thing maybe,
Yeah,
soft
that's
shell.
po' boys are like born like that is where po' boys come from is New Orleans. So it's definitely a Cajun thing, but you can get soft shell crabs in a lot of different places. So soft shell crab's good. It's just that the point of it is just to eat it like it's just like shrimp basically. It's already shelled, but it's not.
Yeah, it's basically like not even like a crab in the traditional sense. It's just it's a
Yeah,
it's like a shrimp or a I don't even
it,
know what else is out there.
yeah, it's like it's already skinned, except it's just yeah, it's just
Are they good?
I like crab. There's a lot of people. Seafood is hit or miss with people.
Yeah.
I love seafood. I used to not really care for seafood. I'd eat shrimp, but anymore, like I actually really like salmon, cod, um, a lot of like fillets and uh, lobster.
Oh, what about catfish?
Yeah, if it's fried, yeah, I do like catfish. I'm not a really broiled fan. Like without, I like it fried.
Yeah, catfish is a weird one because they're almost like a frog. Like the skin is you have to like skin a catfish. You can't just
Yeah, no,
like you have to like
they're slimy. Yeah,
yeah, they're
they
slimy.
are. Yeah, yep.
But anyways, we can move on from this chatter and let's get to these Penguins games
Yeah,
because I wonder if the Penguins when they were down Texas way had any I wonder if any of them had like came across any soft shell po' boys
I don't know.
or what have you. What do you have down in Texas? They probably have catfish in Texas.
Oh, they definitely have catfish in Texas. They got that barbecue. Um, yeah, anything they fry anything down there. So,
They do.
but no, the Penguins were in Dallas on Saturday. They did have a back to back this weekend, and I mean earlier in the year we rated their first Dallas game as maybe the worst game of the season at home. They gave up I think 7 goals in the first period.
No one showed up. No one put their
No one
gear on
showed
that
up.
game.
No one showed up. A bad performance. And then they turn around this game in Dallas and maybe put up one of their best performances of the season. At the very least, we're going to call this a Crosby Classic. Sidney Crosby 4 points, a hat trick. Brian Russ scored. Blake Lizotte scored the game winner. They went down in the third period. Could have been turtled and just got out of Dallas with a loss. Dude, the Penguins kept battling in this game, and against one of the better teams in the NHL, they just, again, Dallas has lost 8 games at home this year in regulation, 7 coming into this game. Just an absolutely warrior performance from the Penguins in this one to get the win, and especially Sidney Crosby, who, I mean, just, he's amazing. Let's put it that way. Just a stunning performance from Crosby.
Yeah, stunning performance from Crosby. You know, I thought Malkin, I feel like also, like his whole career, I feel like Malkin's had to put together some great efforts recently, but he just hasn't been getting on the score sheet. Sid, hell of a game. He gets to the 30 goal mark for another season. Yeah, I know we're going to talk about it later. He's no Ovechkin when it comes to putting the puck in the net, but he's still just a fantastic, well-rounded player. I'll never be able to I'll always have time in my life to just boast about how awesome it's been to watch Sidney Crosby, and at age 37 just do what he's continuing to do. Another weird thing that kind of happened in this game that I just have to talk about and throw it out there for us to chat about, Robbie, is Evgeny Dadonov he's a secondary scorer. Like, he's an offensive, like, third line player. Maybe can punch above his weight a bit at second line. He scored 2 hat tricks in his entire career, both against the Penguins.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Evgeny Dadonov turned into a 2009 Conn Smythe Evgeny Malkin in this game.
Yeah, he did. Dadonov was basically, it was basically the Crosby and Dadonov show is really what it was.
The dueling hat tricks between Ovi and Sid have been washed. It is the dueling hat tricks of Evgeny Dadonov and Sidney Crosby.
A game on April 5th that the Penguins are well out of the playoffs, while Dallas is one of the Cup favorites. Yeah. Forget a colossal showdown in the playoffs from 15 years ago. This is now the preeminent dueling hat trick game for Sidney Crosby. We will always remember the Sidney Crosby Evgeny Dadonov showdown in early April in 2025.
Dude, what's really messed up is that's not even a joke. There's going to be when you and me are like in wheelchairs and we're going to talk to some kid one day, and he's going to, or not some kid, someone in their 20s, he'll be like, he'll be you remember the Dadonov Crosby dueling hat trick game? And he wasn't even alive for the Sidney Crosby Ovi playoff dueling hat trick.
Yeah, that's gonna be
that might be what kills me. Just like
we hear him talking and we just wheel over to him real quick and let me tell you something about the real dueling hat trick game. The Crosby Ovechkin dueling hat trick games, obviously, stuff of legends. But
it's a good watch on YouTube. The game's on YouTube. You can go watch.
Oh yeah, it's again, the Penguins don't win the game, as a warning to those, but that game was insane.
It was.
One of the preeminent showdowns between those two players. But we'll always remember where we were for the Crosby Dadonov dueling hat tricks game.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's really funny that Evgeny Dadonov 2 career hat tricks, both against the Penguins. One of those fun facts that you look back on in 20, 30 years being like, I remember where I was when Evgeny Dadonov matched Sidney Crosby.
When he's back playing for Avangard Omsk or something like that, and then he's back home in Russia, and he's like, 40 years old. Dude, Brian Rust inches ever closer to 30.
28. He is very, very close. I'm really hoping he can get 2 goals in the next 4 games here. He didn't score on Sunday, but the Sunday was a different, completely different topic that we'll talk about in a second. But he does get to, over the weekend, get to 59 points, which is a new career high. He does set the career high there, but he is at 28 goals, which ties a career high that he set last year. So at least 1 more goal to set a new career high in goals. But I'd love to get 2 more to get to that 30. And we mentioned this a couple weeks ago. How many times has a team had 3 30-goal scorers on the roster and pick like top 10? Like, that's got to be super, super rare.
Yeah, I remember talking about that, and I was thinking about it again because Man, a lot of goal scoring happening in the league, and I was like, dude, that's probably happened, but like back when there was like 6 teams.
Yeah, probably back then. Yeah, when there. Well, yeah. Again, you were automatic top 10 pick, your automatic top 6 pick. But like since the expansion, like I mean, I wonder when like because that's just seems crazy. Like 3 guys score 30 goals and you're picking top 10. That just seems crazy to me.
You know, did the year that Elias Lindholm, Johnny Gaudreau, rest in peace, and Matthew Tkachuk, did they miss playoffs that year that they all had 30 goals? I think they all had 100 points. That would have been the year right before Tkachuk got traded, I think. Because, yeah, the next year, Lindholm got traded. Yeah, that was before the Huberdeau trade with Tkachuk. That was before Lindholm obviously went to Vancouver and then eventually Boston.
The year that Gaudreau had 100 points, they were first in the Pacific. That was their really good year.
Nice one, Snail.
Let's see this year here, though. No, neither of the years that he scored 30 or had 100 points did they miss the playoffs. No, wait, there's one more year here to check out.
Oh, you know what year I'm thinking?
What's that?
What about the Penguins 2005 year?
2005?
Yeah.
Let me check here.
Sidney Crosby had 39 goals. No one else was even close.
Okay, I was going to say
nice
that
one again. Ryan Malone had 22. John LeClaire had 22. Mark Recchi, the Wrecking Ball, had 24.
All right, so they had guys like, 39.
Michelle Ouellette. How did you say that guy's name? Ouellette. He had 16 goals and 16 and 16. That's not bad. Mario Lemieux, he only had 7.
Yeah, he only played a couple games.
I was like, maybe that 2005 year. I was thinking like Recchi, Sid, and Mario maybe might have all had 30, but
no. It's really tough to do, like
because they made the playoffs every year after that, right?
Yes,
that was because then that next year was Ottawa. The Ottawa series, and then they went to the Cup final the next year.
Last year, the Penguins had Gensel at not last year, sorry. 2022-2023, you had Gensel at 36, Crosby at 33, Raquel at 28.
Oh, that's
now
close.
Raquel didn't score all his goals in Pittsburgh, but then you had Malkin and Zucker both at 27, so not out of the question. And then that was
that's pretty close.
Yeah, that's about as close as I've seen.
God, Jason Zucker, that seems like a lifetime ago.
It does seem like a lifetime ago.
Remember we were talking about should we re-sign Zucker?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if we got into that and got involved with that? That could have been. Actually, I think he had an okay year with Buffalo this year. That dude just was always hurt.
Yeah, he was good. Like the 1 year that he got a new contract and he priced himself out of Pittsburgh. But that's about it.
Yeah, that was a weird time. Dark times.
Yeah, not good times. Not good times.
And they didn't get better.
No, they did not. But yeah, the Penguins do get a win on Saturday here against the Stars, a very good Stars team. The Crosby hat trick. So Crosby's up to 30 goals now, as we mentioned. Rickard Rakell is your other 30-goal scorer, and Brian Russ sits at 28. But the good times did not last long because they go to Chicago on Sunday night, and, man, they looked like they played about 5 hours before this game started. They were completely out of it. Now, Spencer Knight did have a good showing. Ilya Mikheyev did score twice. He scored the second and third goals, and the third being the empty netter and the second being the game winner. Rickard Rakell does get goal number 34 to tie a career high with that one. But the Penguins again, this is the front of it, a home and home. They play him Tuesday night back in Pittsburgh. But Chicago's a bad hockey team, and the Penguins just did not look good.
Dude, I hate Chicago Blackhawks. That place is a house of horrors because that was – do you remember the year where they missed the playoffs for the first time and they went in there? They just had to beat Chicago, and they couldn't – Andre Athanasiou just sky dumped on the Penguins' playoffs hopes. They couldn't get an equalizer. Ever since, and then Chicago was like a lottery team like that year. Like oh my God, I hate that place. I'm also like, this is a team that Sidney Crosby shows effort every time, but you just go into Chicago and you're supposed to just bully them. Go knock Connor Bedard into the glass like a dozen times. Sid should just clean house on the faceoff dot with him. They have no spine. And Spencer Knight is their saving grace goaltender right now. I just don't understand why they don't go in there and they just out of principle wax a team like that. They have to make it a track meet and then they end up losing. It's just sucks.
Yeah. You should. And yet this loss did eliminate the Penguins from playoff contention. They are officially eliminated after this game.
Mathematically eliminated, as they say.
Mathematically eliminated as it's Chicago again. You should just go in there and win. There should be a game where you start pushing for Russ should have a goal in this game to get closer. This is a
Cookie
game where
night.
What's that?
Cookie night is what you go in there and it's just stat padding night.
Yeah, it is. It should be a stat padding night, but it wasn't. They got owned. They got beat up pretty bad in this hockey game, and it ended their whatever slim playoff hopes they had. They didn't have many playoff hopes to begin with coming into this game. It was basically just a formality. But
but you don't want that to be the game. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, one thing of note while we were talking here, I was looking up something real quick. In 1989-90, the Penguins had 4 30-goal scorers, 2 guys at 29. They picked 5th overall and took Jaromir Jagr.
Wow, that's a stat. That's a trivia question. So wait, in 1980, 88, 89, you said?
89-90.
89-90. So they had
a year before they won their first cup, yeah.
They had 3 30-goal scorers and 2
They had 4
29.
30-goal scorers.
4.
They had Mario even had 45. Mario had 45 in 59 games. Robbie Brown had 33.
Wait, let me try to guess one.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Did Bob Airy?
No, he had 20.
Yeah. What about John Cullen?
John Cullen at 32.
He had 32? No way.
He had 32, yep.
Okay, and then was one of them a defenseman?
One of them was a defenseman.
Was it what's his name?
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was getting frustrated by your forms. Now, Taxes is uploading your forms with a snap, and a TurboTax expert will do your taxes for you. One who's backed by the latest tech, which cross-checks millions of data points for absolute accuracy, all of which makes it easy for you to get the most money back, guaranteed. Get an expert now at TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. See guaranteed details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
So good, so good, so good.
New markdowns up to 70% off are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. Fresh kicks, spring tops, new dresses. There's always a score.
I mean, the denim section is unreal.
Why do I rack? All the dresses.
I always find something amazing.
Head to your Nordstrom Rack store to find can't-miss deals on all the spring things. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
Acura's all-new ADX, a compact SUV that isn't just built for one thing, it's precision-crafted for everything. To escape the grind with available all-wheel drive. To go with your flow with available Google built-in.
Hey Google, turn it up.
Okay, turning up the volume. And crafted to be heard with an available Bang & Olufsen premium sound system. The all-new Acura ADX, crafted to match your energy. Acura, precision crafted performance.
Take your vibes on go, 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 go.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
It's the Paul Coffey.
Yep, Paul Coffey was one of them.
And your boy Kevin Stevens.
He had 29.
Oh, he had 29.
No, sorry. Oh, wait, what year am I? Okay, yeah, sorry. I got to get back to goals here. Of the four, there were 4 30-goal scorers at least. You have John Cullen, Mario Lemieux. Sorry, Coffey and Stevens both had 29. So you're missing.
Okay.
Cullen, Robbie Brown, and Lemieux all had at least 30. There's one other 30-goal scorer. And he
Kevin
scored 30.
Stevens?
Nope, he had 29.
Oh, that's what you just said.
Recchi. Yeah, he had 30 exactly.
Because Recchi was around for so long, dude.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever realize like how many times, like if you go through history and watch Penguins games, like he was there and came back. And like I don't think he finished his career in Pittsburgh. Did he?
No,
or was it in
Boston.
Jersey? Oh, Boston.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy was just an independent contractor for scoring goals.
He played 22 years. He actually won 3 Stanley Cups with 3 different teams.
There's another trivia stat.
Yep.
That. I mean, I don't know how many players have done that. Pat Maroon was close.
Yeah, he had 2. He was 3 with 2 different teams.
He did. No, he did. He did 3. He had 2 with Tampa and then 1 with St. Louis.
Yeah, so he needed another team in there. There's probably guys that bounce around the league enough that claim 3 Stanley Cups with 3 different teams, but yeah. So little fact there.
So 89-90, there was 4 30-goal scorers
and 2 guys with 29,
and they picked 5th overall.
Yeah, and they got
who was that pick?
Jaromir Jagr.
Jagr was that pick.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a cool stat. That's the kind of stuff I talk about.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff. When the Penguins get embarrassed against a team like the Blackhawks, we got to just briefly touch on that, and then waste most of our time talking about senseless stats. This is what's coming this summer, guys.
Yeah,
it's just gonna be us, like, instead of just doing mailbags all the time, just finding weird stats and talking about weird oddities throughout the Penguins and NHL history. But
I honestly can't wait for that.
The big news from the weekend. I mean, we have to talk about it.
Yeah, let's get to this. Let's take our Penguins fan hat off and let's just put on our appreciation for history hats.
The big news, obviously, from the weekend is on Sunday afternoon, Alex Ovechkin, about 2 days after tying Wayne Gretzky, surpassed him with his 895th goal against the New York Islanders. I think the goal itself was about as prototypical Ovechkin goal as you probably have ever seen, except
it was a wild shot, dude.
Yeah,
he put the grade 8 into that shot.
I generally think that he was at the point where he was going to do anything to score a goal and just get it over with, and he was going to shoot. He scored 2 against Chicago, and he basically had a couple chances before they pulled the goalie where he was just shooting to see if he could score. Now, I get it was at home, but he was basically out there just shooting to see if he could score, to do anything to score.
Yeah, he had one that was like 5 feet wide of the net. You could tell there was almost like desperation. He was at the end of his shift, and every time he got the puck, just rifling it on net, trying to get it on net.
But the shot he scored the record setter at, the breaker, that was a wicked shot. And I didn't realize it, but that's the first goal he ever scored on Ilya Sorokin.
Yep.
So Sorokin, I know after the game, Sorokin gave him his glove and the stick that he was using during when it happened. Sorokin, again, a Russian as well, so there's some ties there. Honestly, it sounded like a Capitals home game when he scored.
I know, that's
and
crazy.
if you go back and watch it, you can see a bunch of Islanders fans celebrating.
Well, you saw history.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it would have been like if it happened in Pittsburgh, but it would had to be a cool moment. It was really funny though to like all that celebration, and then you just see a bunch of sad Islanders players skating to the bench after the goal.
Dude, they didn't want it to be against
no,
them.
They were doing everything they could for it to not be against them. You kind of even see it after Sorokin, after he gave it up, was kind of like, damn, I really wanted to stop that. And it's an absurd record. Like, that's just so many goals. It
is. And
you don't realize it because you don't think about the Gretzky record until recently, because you're like, nobody's ever going to get that many goals. And now you're like, damn, that's just a lot of goals.
It's a lot of goals. And I think it was back along. John Buchacross was the first dude who was ever saying that nonsense.
And that was back when it was like,
that was in 2007 or 8 or 9 or something like that.
It was like he was like at least 300 goals away from breaking the record at that point. Like,
just a ridiculous amount. And he was saying he could do it. And that was like nonsense back then. That was just like clickbait stuff back then.
Yeah, it was like, okay, if he plays until he's like 42, like, okay, maybe if he'd have to play until like he was basically just out there goal hunting. Like, he wouldn't have to be, he'd almost be like, he's not really effective anymore. He's just trying to score goals. And then it just like, he broke his leg this year. It was
insane.
And that's really the worst injury he's ever really sustained, that he's been out for a significant amount of time. And when he broke his leg, I'm like, he might sneak it in at the end of the season. But
I thought it was over and done. We'll just see him do it next year. Maybe he'll trickle in enough goals for next year.
Yeah. But again, it helps that the team is good. If the team was like the Penguins, he probably isn't getting it this year, just because
it would almost be annoying that he's out there just trying to rip home goals and his team sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, and again, they're a good hockey team, obviously. I thought it was really cool when Nick Backstrom was there to celebrate. Like, it almost would have been fitting if Backstrom could have played to get the assist on the goal, because he's assisted on so many, but injuries prevented him from really being able to play anymore. But I believe it was Tom Wilson that got the primary assist.
Dylan Strome got the secondary.
Yeah, Dylan Strome, which has turned into an incredible hockey player.
I know. He's like a mini Backstrom.
Yeah, really. And he was like person non grata for he was like the second fiddle to McDavid for all those years up in Erie.
That's right.
Got picked 3rd overall, never developed in Arizona or Chicago.
Two bad places to go develop, though, at that time.
Yeah, if he would have been in Chicago like 5 years earlier, probably a different story. But he got in there at like the end of the dynasty. Taves was washed. Kane was still good, but he was mostly washed. DeBrincat was on his way out. Panarin was already gone. That was a bad team starting to fail. Arizona was just, Arizona's just a hockey desert, pun intended.
Yeah, but, totally.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he finally got to a place that knows how to use his skills and lets him develop. So good for him there. He got the secondary assist. But yeah, it was crazy to see them all come off the bench then. Like, yeah, his sliding celebration.
So good.
It
Phil
had to be
Kessel did it first.
Yeah. Yes, he did. That was, oh man, what goal was that?
I just watched it. I watched it last night.
Was that the Stanley Cup final goal?
No, it was against Washington.
Was it a playoff
against
goal?
DC. Yeah, it was a playoff goal. I think it was Game 6 against the Washington Capitals. Yeah, I literally watched that game last night.
Okay. I do remember him flying across the ice, on his belly with his shield.
Well, actually, now I'm having second thoughts, because I watched 2 games last night. I watched the clincher versus DC, and then I watched like game 2 or 3. I watched the game against Tampa Bay where Ben Bishop got hurt.
Oh, where his leg like bent,
buckled. Yeah. And Chris Letang got like crunched into the boards by Callahan.
Yeah.
And Phil scored. I think Phil scored in that one too. So it was either the Game 6 against Washington, or it was like it was like a Game 2 or 3 versus Tampa. But either way, yeah, Phil. Ovechkin saw that celebration was like, that's $8.95 for me.
Yeah. Sliding across the ice, big celebration. They stop the game, have their ceremony. Wayne Gretzky's there. Obviously, he was following him around. But yeah, the Islanders will live in infamy for that moment now. Good for them. Screw the Islanders.
Oh, get this. I got a stat for you. Wayne Gretzky scored $8.94 against the Islanders.
Yes, I did see that yesterday.
So Ovi scored $8.95 against the Islanders. So they get to suck on both of those.
What's even scarier is Gretzky and Ovechkin scored their most recent. Well, obviously, Gretzky scored $8.94 and Ovechkin scored $8.95 in the same amount of games.
The exact same amount of games.
That's terrifying.
And both, this is even weirder too, 31 years apart.
Yes.
Like equal years apart. So like, I don't know, there's some like gematria, like sacred numerology going on here. Which I'm not well versed enough into really get into, but there's some numerology here lining up, and it's got me a little bit conspiratorial, I must say.
Yeah, it's definitely it's kind of super weird, really. I mean, Ovechkin's at 42 goals now. He needs 5 to get 900 to be the first to 900. I don't know how many. I think they have 4 games left. I don't know if he's going to push that hard for it, because if they have everything wrapped up, he could score 900 against the Penguins next week if things go right. So we're not out of the woods yet.
We're not out of the woods yet. I think if he got, that's fine. All good. If Jari's in net, he might get
1,000.
Yeah, he's gonna have 1,000 by the end of the year. Oh my God, because the goaltending in Pittsburgh is just not good.
Yeah. Now there is a chance that looking at the schedules and stuff that Ovechkin could sit out that game, depending on if they have everything wrapped
bubble wrap him.
Yeah, especially with that game's on the 17th and the playoffs start the 19th, so it's going to be a pretty hectic turnaround for these teams. But if it helped, we're less than 2 weeks away from Stanley Cup playoff hockey, Snail.
Thank God, man. I'm so ready for playoff hockey. I'm so ready for, dude, it's going to be insane. I must say, as hockey fans, for Pittsburgh Penguins fans, if all you do is watch Pittsburgh Penguin games, which I'll say that's kind of me, but I do pay attention to the league. It's a bummer year, but you got the kids playing right now, which we should touch on in a sec. The kids look great. Rucker McGroarty and Koivunen, they don't look out of place in the top 2 lines.
That's another thing I want to definitely talk about. McGroarty and Crosby looks like, buddy, put them together next year.
He looks like Gensel almost.
He looks like,
and they're both from Nebraska.
Yeah. If he can just once the scoring touch kind of refines itself, I'm all in because it looked every bit the part of a Jake Gensel, Chris Kunitz type thing.
They're actually kind of those two guys combined. It's got he's got more physicality than Gensel did. Not to say Gensel wasn't durable and could go to the dirtier. I'm not saying Gensel was soft by any means, but Kunitz was a good old Western Canadian boy. He's kind of like both of those guys. I mean, dude, the little one-touch passes, the chemistry with Sid. There's a couple times where I think the puck bobbles off his stick. I don't know if he's not as used to getting passes that hard in the NHL.
Mm-hmm. Oh, probably no, yeah.
And there's moments where it almost looks like he's trying to catch up to his skates. The game is obviously so much faster.
Yeah.
But that kid he's got the hockey IQ, which is one of his biggest traits. That kid's gonna be a stud. And Ville Koivunen, his instincts, offensive instincts, man, I was watching him on the power play. That dude knows how to score. That guy knows how to pop out and find soft little areas to get the puck on net, and he's got a great shot.
Kind of like a Kessel.
Very much so. He's on the opposite side as a Kessel. He's got that same kind of he's always kind of bobbing, head shaking, looking for someone to get open, and he can whip the puck on net. I'm not. This is no slander because Malkin. I'll go to my. I love Malkin. I think that he's been, I think that he's been undermined a lot of his career. He's so great, but I want to say like get almost like a better. If they can get like a better centerman for a guy like Koivunen, like not Malkin. I think I've heard someone say this before. I can't take this for myself. Malkin almost wishes he had like nobody on his line. Like he just wants the puck the whole time. He wants to go dominate. He needs basically a couple of those like passers, those like stationary hockey passers for training, just for him to like pass the puck and get it right back from.
Yeah.
I just don't know if a centerman like him is gonna bode well for like a playmaker like Koivunen. I was just getting like kind of honestly horned up last night thinking, what if they make a move for Elias Pettersson and they get Elias Pettersson on a line with Koivunen?
I do wonder what they could try to what the thought process is going to be as things develop in the offseason, come May, June, July, once more teams started getting eliminated and moves start happening and stuff like that. I definitely wonder, do they move Malkin to wing full time and get a playmaker at center? Because I think McGroarty and Rust are your top two wingers with Crosby. I think that is where you start next year. Koivunen and Raquel move down to the second line with a playmaker type center. If you try it with Malkin, or what you do with trying to move pieces around to get a younger playmaker at center to move Malkin to the wing.
Dude, centermen are just so hard to come by, but like they're out there. You know what I mean? Like if you want to, dude, it's ridiculous to think if the Penguins wanted to swing a deal for a guy like Pettersson. But God, could you imagine like if you got Malkin to the wing and then you went out and made a big swing for what about that one dude? He's hurt right now. They have Novak's a centerman, isn't he?
Yeah, I believe he can play either position. But it would be really good if he could get healthy for next season.
What is he out with, man?
I don't know. I don't know if it's one of those mystery injuries, but I think he played one game and then has not played since the trade deadline.
Yeah, that sucks because I thought that if that Novak could play center, I'd be wondering what he could kind of bring to the table. But man, I don't know. Do you go out and get a veteran playmaking type centerman, or do you get like a young? I don't know. But that Koivunen is going to be a problem for other teams, I think, for the foreseeable. I like what I see out of him. He doesn't look out of place. He's got speed. The fact that Sullivan is playing these guys consistently where he's playing them in the lineup, that's like, Robbie, I think as fans, we get frustrated sometimes because we just don't understand what we're seeing doesn't translate to the ice time sometimes. But what we're seeing actually translates to what's happening because Sullivan's keeping these guys on the top power play unit and on the top two lines. So obviously he's kind of horned up for it too. I bet Sullivan's like, thank God I got some like young, good players coming up now. Kind of probably reminds me of 2015, 16 a little bit. But yeah, man, the kids look great.
Yeah, I'm super hyped, and that definitely, as much as we're like, just get us to the end of the season, I love watching Koivunen and McGroarty, and I'm really looking forward to what they can do once they go back to the AHL, what they can do with this experience they play, because the game's going to feel like it's in slow motion when they go back for the playoffs down there.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be big dogging guys down there. They're going to be like...
Hopefully. That should be the plan. I mean, go out there, use what you learned in your 3 weeks playing with Sidney Crosby and Brian Rust and Evgeny Malkin. Go down there and, big dog them, man.
Dude, what do they do with Malkin? Like, would it be just weird to have him as like a third-line center? Do you think he would accept that?
I mean... how much you want to win, man?
Gino, I have no reason to question his motivation for winning because he's a proven winner.
I mean, like Gino has put his body through more for this franchise than literally about Sidney Crosby or Mario Lemieux.
Exactly.
He's probably going to need like 3 knee replacements when he gets older. The body is obviously worn down to he's significantly reduced in his physical capabilities than he was.
Shoulders,
at his prime.
knees, just
he's the size doesn't help. The size, it helps when he was dominant, but the size definitely takes a toll when you have to heal at 37, 38 years old. But no, Malkin deserves every right to go out on his own terms. And I think they're going to do right by him no matter what. And if that means moving him to wing, they'll talk about it. Malkin seems like the kind of guy that would. And if it doesn't work out with somebody else, he can always move back to center. He still has the abilities there if need be. And maybe getting him a guy like Koivunen and Raquel on that line turns that playmaker switch back on rather than trying to do everything himself.
That's a good point. It's not like he's not capable. Like, we've seen it work for him in the past. Maybe you'll see Malkin start deferring to a guy like Koivunen and being like, I think this guy knows what to do with the puck better than Evgeny Malkin will never say that about anybody, but maybe it'll cross his mind that he's like, all right, I got actually like some competent. It's not just me and Raquel trying to force chemistry. We got this kid that's dishing too. So, man, exciting stuff. It's an exciting time right now. That was what got us on this tangent. Kids are playing, even though the Penguins season is squandered, they're mathematically eliminated. Rucker McGroarty and Ville Koivunen are fun to watch every shift. And then you've got playoffs in a couple weeks, and that's going to be just a madhouse.
And the good news is we're going to be here for it all. We're going to be talking playoffs. We'll be talking Penguins end of season, mailbags.
We'll do a bracket too. We got to do a bracket.
Yeah, we can do a bracket. We can do a show just on picking our brackets, go one by one and make why. Yeah, and why. Yeah, we can definitely do that. We'll have brackets out here. We have to do a special episode for that later, right before the playoffs start. But we'll talk draft lottery because the Penguins are going to be interested in that for more than one reason, obviously.
Michael Misa talk and what's the other guy? There's a defenseman.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Well, we better learn it because he might be coming to Pittsburgh.
Yes. But I don't really have anything else for this episode unless you do, Snail. I don't.
The next Penguins game is against Chicago at home again. This time.
Yes.
So let's hope that, let's just see these guys like let's see Raquel try to get 40. Let's see Russ get 30.
Just empty the clip.
Yeah, just empty the clip. Why not?
Just go like full Ovechkin chasing the record. Just start shooting.
Just cross the Raquel.
Cross the blue line and just start putting shots on goal. And I just want Raquel, Russ, and Crosby skating 30 minutes a night. Just
full 2 minutes on the power play when they get it.
Yep, absolutely.
Why not? But other than that, I got nothing, Robbie.
All right, guys. So we meant to talk about 2 games, and we kind of did focus more on other things. But
I think the gem of this podcast is the 89-90 roster with 430 goal scorers, 229 goal scorers, and they picked top 5, and it was Jaromir Jagr.
Yeah. That if you're taking anything away from this podcast, that is it. But other than that, we'll be back tomorrow night, Tuesday night, to talk about the Penguins game against the Blackhawks. Hopefully, we have something fun to talk about. But if not, we'll find something interesting to discuss as we always do. So. For Snail, I'm Robbie. We'll talk to you guys on Tuesday evening after the Penguins and Blackhawks. Have a good one.